these are a group of veterans from all over the nation, from Texas, Rhode Island, Florida, North Carolina, and New York. And we are the Grassroots Veterans Coalition. We represent other veterans that are in the same position that we are, confused sometimes, and I think for that matter, it's not something that we can take it lightly. We're facing a big area in our entire life right now with this virus, and with what the president is going through, the pressure that he's being put through. He's put in a vulnerable position that there's the certain parties of the Democratic Party want to take him down once again. They don't stop. They're like roaches. They gotta keep crawling and crawling and crawling, even though they show their colors. We're trying to let you know that we appreciate and have the gratitude in this entire nation for what the president has been doing for us. I have Simon Alvarado from Texas who will be presenting a little bit about his thoughts. Tom Tretch from Florida, Robert Cole from Rhode Island, Janelle Wolf from North Carolina. We're all veterans. We served. And it doesn't matter how long we serve, where we serve. We've seen a lot of issues go by. We've seen a lot of presidents come by and go. At this time right now, we've got a problem. We got a stimulus package that was designed for those individuals that suffered or are suffering from this virus that is hurting them real bad. The businesses that are closing down, the community that is shutting down somewhat, separating, staying in their houses. It's really rough. You know, it's like a major size war that we're seeing. Wait and see what the enemy is going to do, where he's going to attack before we can pop our heads out. We don't have any weapons at this time. We have blanks right now, and those blanks are the chemistry in trying to put a vaccine together, and we're trying it in certain areas and with certain people. And we need you. We need you and all the veterans around the nation. Doesn't matter what party you are. Understand that the president is doing his best. The stimulus package was designed for the virus, not for adapting a green plan for the airlines. It wasn't designed for solar wind energy subsidized. It wasn't designed for abortion funding plan or parenthood. Okay. Designed, and this is a winner too. It wasn't designed for $1 billion to give for the Obama phones. What he did when he was in office. And the next one is the hundreds and millions of dollars for the art. That's not part of the virus. I don't see anything in that. So with that comes the biggest part. She also wants to fund aliens that hasn't come into this country legally, no paperwork, but just come in. It's fine with the Democratic Party if they do this, and they want to fund them too. Hard-earned tax money, your money, our money, the money that we work so hard for and our family. She wants to give it away to somebody else. This is just like Bernie Sanders. You know, Bernie, this is a great part that we have right here to show you what it is to have a socialist country. In a year's time, in 2 years' time, we kept this up. You think we're going to have any money if we kept on paying people to stay home and pay for everything? We'd be making money that would mean nothing. This is the guy that's running for president. Then we have Joe Biden, doesn't even know which direction is left and right, which is east and north or west and south, or his wife or his sister. Okay, this is what the Democratic has for a party. So with this, I'm going to give you Simon. Simon, your thoughts on the stimulus package and what it's doing to the economy?
Well, you know, Gene, I'm hoping that it's going to work. You know, like anything else, you know, you have people that agree and disagree, you know, but it's always on the left. They always tend to be very pessimistic of anything that the president does. Okay, so I'm hoping that the thing about it, you know, the way I see it this way, Gene, in the next 2 weeks, if things don't change, in the next 2 weeks, we're gonna have the big hurt. Okay, this country cannot survive on what 50, 70 billion, 70 million people unemployed. You know, the government can't. I mean, we cannot. You know, we just can't support this. You know, you talked about this is our money, but you know what? Look at it. This is not our money. These are our kids' money, their grandkids' money. They're spending money they hasn't even been paid yet or collected yet. That's where the money's coming from because it's all borrowed money. So although you know Trump is trying to do the best that he can, but every time he turns around, someone's going to slap in the back of the head, you know. But I do just want to say, you know, that for all of us that you know they're doing well, you know, we're gonna hopefully we'll remain well, you know. Down in Texas, we don't have that many. Where I live, anyway, we don't have. I think we have about 2 people in my county that have been infected so far. But you know, I live in a rural area, so I'm about 7 miles away from the nearest little bitty town. But I make it out to buy groceries or whatever. But yeah, but I think the next 2 weeks will really tell the entire nation where we're going to stand, whether we're going to fall. To me, in my thinking, this was an attack by our enemy, trying to diminish our capacity in doing what we do, and that's democracy. And but again, no, that's only my opinion. But I mean, if you look at the numbers, you know, why is it that we have more uh, infected people than China? China has 1.6 billion people. You only had 331, yet we have more infected people than they do. So they claim anyway. So there's something wrong with the math there. And I think we need to be very careful and trying to look at how this whole thing started, Jane. But anyway, so Robert, what do you think, Robert?
I agree with you, Simon. I think that what was being fed to us by China is obviously not right. Numbers don't make any sense at all. In fact, if you listen to the press conference from President Trump last couple of days, he did mention one thing that's of note is that he said that he's interested in building 2 more hospital ships. So I think that would be very well in him actually doing that. So, but yeah, the Democrats, for some reason, well, we know what reason, they just don't like the president because he's a businessman. He's obviously got this country really going very well. In fact, I think this country really needed him at the right time. He's the right man for the right time, right place. And I think that I personally think he's actually, his whole election was by divine intervention. The man not only had to defeat the Republican Party, he also had to defeat the Democrat Party, and he also had to defeat the Clinton machine. So it's actually truly a miracle that he actually got elected. But I think that we have to also take into account that maybe the conscience of this country is starting to wake up, and that there are a lot more good people out there who actually know what is true and what isn't, and are not falling for the lies. And I think that again, this President Trump will probably go down in history as one of the greatest presidents this country's ever seen, ever had.
Absolutely.
I don't know about George Washington, but I think, and even Trump has to say that himself. But it's truly interesting that the time we're living. It's we talk about history, and it's amazing because we read history and we study history, but I think we're actually living history right now. It's amazing that the times that we're living now history is unfolding right in front of our own faces, our own eyes, our own ears. So What do you think, Tom?
Absolutely. We have a great president. He's overcome a lot of obstacles. You have an incredible machine that's up against him, and they obviously have plenty to hide, and they know their days are numbered. And when it all comes down to it, they're probably going to go down to Cuba and hang around a while, and that's just the way it is. He's the media gets a lot of flack in the media, but he's not a weatherman. He's not a scientist. He's a businessman. He's exactly in his wheelhouse in business, and he's solidly behind veterans. He's the best president to come down the pike and take care of veterans. It's important to note that this stimulus package is being handled improperly. From a veteran standpoint, we need to take that money away from the New York Library and maybe fully fund the VA and the VA hospitals and take care of these 20, 30-year-old claims from the Agent Orange vets and give an honest shake to the Gulf War vets, and then pay it forward and take care of the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. We don't have time to pussyfoot around, and it's not our fault about funding. Funding's not we already have like 2,000 different things we got to hurdle just to get our claims granted. Funding is the responsibility of Congress. Do your jobs, Congress. We got enough stuff. We have the whole disability thing is an obstacle for us. And but our president's doing great. That money needs to be spent right. And with that, I'll hand it over to Janelle.
I think when you mentioned about this is a history before our eyes, it's unfolding. This will also go down in history as having the worst episode of these Democrats riding this president the whole entire time he's been in office, making up the most ridiculous statements saying that it's his fault, the virus, and he's not doing this right with the virus, and that he's jumping the gun saying we should be back at work by Easter. Any part of it is his fault. People got to realize that there's a lot of opposition in the government towards anything the president does. The Democrats are stopping anything he's tried to do. That's why we don't have a wall in Mexico. And they're complaining that the stimulus package isn't enough money. I guess they forget that money that they're giving us, we got to pay that. That's taxes. Our taxes are going to go up. Our debt is going up. And within reason, they talk about these other countries that are paying so much more. You look at their income tax rates and you'll see that their income tax rates are a lot higher than ours. And it's a scary thing to think, what's going to happen on this next coming election. I'm pretty sure President Trump's going to be reelected because Biden, before the next year comes out, they're going to tie him in with some of that stuff that's going on in Russia. And now even Pelosi's been tied into that. And I think that's great. I think legal action should be taken against these Democrats that are causing all this, controversy over stupid things like in the South. Oh, that Confederate soldier statue, that's got to come down because that's racist. There was a street in Greensboro called Lee Street. Well, they just had to change the name of that because that was racist. That demonstrated slavery. And none of these people had a problem with these statues or the name of that road until somebody whispered in their ear, don't you think that's a symbol of slavery? And it seems like the whole country, they can whisper in somebody's ear and they go off on this big tangent, and it never bothered them before. And it's like, it's so easy to manipulate all these people in this country and get them to do the stupidest things just by whispering in their ears, starting a rumor, that somebody thinks this is bad. I think really they need to clean that up. Those Democrats, a lot of them need to be sent home without any further pay or benefits, like Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, Ted Lieu, and wonderful Schumer out of New York State. I think all those people need to go away, and some of them probably should go to jail.
Take them out.
Well, it's just ridiculous to waste so much time and effort and causing all this just problems. It's like they're trying to distract people from the truth. And so many people are so gullible and follow it like, don't you think you should probably jump off this cliff over here? Maybe a bunch of them would. We'd be done with the stupid people. It's unbelievable how easy this country can be, the citizens can be manipulated in believing the most stupidest things, how that anybody could hold President Trump responsible for this virus. I just don't understand how people's logic can accept that. It's just, I know who I'm voting for, and I'm grateful as hell that he was elected this last time, because I don't even think the United States would be in existence right now if Hillary had got a hold of it. And she should be in jail, no doubt whatsoever. They should take both of them and put them in jail.
Hey, Gene.
Shut that mouth up too.
That's good.
Hey,
Preach.
Gene.
Well, Tom,
I
you
just want to ask
part
something
of
real
the
quick,
funding.
Gene.
The funding is one of these things that where they're playing with our stimulus package. That totally means nothing, like the Green Deal for the airlines, or the solar wind energy subsidizing, or the abortion funding for Planned Parenthood, or excuse me, $1 billion for Obama phones. That's all in the package, including that last one that I said earlier, the hundreds of millions of dollars for the art.
The Kennedy Center.
Really is a killer, is being able to give this money to also the illegal aliens. That's what they got welfare for. That's why when I was a kid, we had that big block of cheese. We had powdered milk, $25 ticket that my mother used to get so she can get her food and stuff. That's what we had. That's what these people has to start out, just like we all did, But the fact of the matter of the way the criticism, the hateful of a president that has been fighting since day one before he was even elected, it's just unheard of. There's a lot of rumor that goes around that this virus was started by us, by them, or them. But we all know because it's there in the books. China, it came from China, okay? I mean, anybody can call somebody in Switzerland or somewhere else to find out the secrets, but you know what? Bottom line is China. And China wants to take us down. That's what they want to do. They want to take us down. And that's exactly how they're doing it with Trump. Nancy, Schumer, Adam Schiff, they want to take him down because he's vulnerable. But he can't be taken down. He can't be.
Hey, Gene.
Nothing at all. And they're not going to prove anything. Good, Simon.
Hey, I want to add one thing, which I find disturbing, and how the 3M corporation,
Mhm.
they've been making 10 million masks a month. They've been making all these ventilators, and
Right.
from the factories, they're going to distributors, and those distributors are selling all the stuff that's being made overseas because they're paying for cash. Okay, so instead, I think Trump passed some legislation, an executive order today, I think, that the company should prioritize first our country first before we go out and start selling stuff. These people, they're all for the money. That a couple of weeks ago that they had China unloading all these ventilators to other countries. Well, guess where they got those ventilators from? From us. So they bought from us and then they sell to them. But for them, it was just a PR stuff. I mean, they're not free. They're paying for them. It's no different than paying for all those masks that are being produced. Now they're saying that maybe now we need to have masks too. So where the hell are we going to get masks from?
Mhm. But Simon, don't you think, and get all this in your thoughts, please, everybody in there. don't you think that there's people that getting the wrong ideas on this 3M and the president? The president didn't sell out this stuff. It
No, it's the corporations. The corporations are the one. I mean, so far,
for
Trump
big
hasn't
bucks they
really-
sold us out.
Yeah, no, I mean that again. That's just nothing but the media trying to exploit something different. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the corporation 3M are the ones that been doing this. They've been selling to the highest bidder. Florida can't get none of the stuff because of other countries are buying it and they're paying cash. They're paying with our own money that we gave them. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm. So you think that with this lesson that we're all learning, and I know the president has learned, he said it, the strong lesson that in his mind, he knows what he has to do with these individuals that are really taking the nation down by displaying their honesty and their loyalty.
No, I mean, I agree that 100%. I think that all these liberals, okay, I mean, the hard-nosed liberals like, Pelosi and all these other new Muslims, house people, I mean, they don't like America. Then what the hell are they doing in our country? Why the hell do these people elect these people that don't like this country? Hey, if you don't like it, get the hell out. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, they get so disturbed when Trump said that, but you know what? I think our veterans, we all served together. That, what really bothers me, that we all served together. We fought together. We looked at the enemy in the eye. We was wounded. We was totally destroyed by bombs, booby traps, artillery. We was once one individual fighting as one. And now, for some reason, I can't understand it. If you see a political party that is really trying to do good, they're doing good. And if you look at the other party and what they're trying to do and take everything and put it into one box to try and destroy what one individual, whether it's President Trump or President G.I. Joe, whoever, is doing something good, they can't handle that. Robert, what's your thought on that?
Well, I agree with you. Is that Democrats have got a problem? They just don't like this man, and I look at the faces of the people in the press conference that Trump's been having the last week or so, and you look at the people sitting out there, the reporters giving the questions, and about 80% of them, you're looking at the face of evil. There's just evil on their face. Good point was Jim Acosta. I mean, did you see his face today?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guy wants to bag Trump in the worst way. But Trump is wise. He's smart. It's amazing. Here's a guy who's been dealing with the business world for over 40 years. I mean, he's actually taking the crap from a lot of different people. So what the Democrats in Congress are trying to dish out is nothing compared to what he's used to seeing. He's streetwise. He's been around. He knows. He knows these reporters by heart. So it's like, but he continually goes to Acosta, and I guess says like I guess he's hoping that maybe the leopard would change his spots, but maybe not. It never will happen. But
no. And the point there, what you're saying is right. They're going after him like cats and dogs, basically. And no matter what he does is not right. There's some people even in my own family don't want to hear the whole garbage of politics. When you mention the politics, I don't want to hear that. But you know what? That's the part that we have to understand what's happening psychologically. That's where the nit of the grit of the truth is. Doesn't matter if you don't like what to hear, but match it up with what you're not hearing. How much your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure exactly where they're going with that, but they're digging their own graves for the most part. Schiff seems like almost like was it Joseph Goebbels, from World War II. They're drinking their own Kool-Aid,
You're right.
That's not the kind of Kool-Aid you want to drink. I'm just mystified about how long this goes on. There is a satanic element to this, and there's definitely something behind it where these people really do need to be dragged off the floor of Congress. They should be just dragged out of there and put in a paddy wagon, because if nothing else, they've wasted the Americans' public time. They've wasted American funds with these useless investigations. They should have their power to investigate suspended, because it's so pointless. And the greater good would be better served by, what could they have done with that time instead? Could they have passed a clean water bill? You know, could they have gotten the wall built sooner? I really, commend the president for getting that wall going as good as it is, better than ever, taller than ever, at a minefield, whatever it takes.
I think that's what we all, but that would be Simon's deal right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's in Texas. I don't know, put some veterans down there by the border where the wall is, and we're recording.
Yeah. But you
Okay,
see,
Ken wants to say something real quick.
Wait, I have to say something.
but you see, the part that we have the most that sometimes in our favor is when we don't collude with the Democratic Party and stay within their thoughts, because Republicans are nothing to them. It doesn't matter if it's a good Republican standing there with a halo on his head or on her head. The representatives that are Democrats don't care. All they care is about their special interests. You see, they don't know that we know that there's probably 85% or 90% Democrats out there that are good people that can judge. Let them judge it. But when they drag the idea to say, I hate this president, and others listen to them, and they keep saying it, they're going to do that. And all of a sudden, we look at those individuals that are saying it like they're bad. They're not the bad guys. The bad guys are the ones that instigated. The bad guys are the ones that Simon and I each morning while he's eating his tacos for breakfast out there, like Maxine Waters, Schumer, Pelosi, Adam Schiff.
I'm shit.
Sometimes I mispronounce his name, but I'm sorry. It just sounds, it's got a rhythm to it, it's a running rhythm. But it's the truth. These individuals hate so much. That's what we got to change. And that's why we're here tonight. You have your thoughts. You said your thoughts about how you felt and how you feel about what's going on, about the stimulus package, about money, $1 billion for Obama phones. What's that going to do for the nation? Tell me. That's not infrastructure. What is it for? The abortion funding for Planned Parenthood. What is that part of the virus? That's not going to put food in somebody else's mouth. They're already killing kids, killing babies. It's a strong conversation Simon and I have each morning when we get a chance to talk. Janelle, your point of view, and please, everybody that's looking at this video, we're all veterans. Janelle, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think when people, nowadays everybody thinks the government should make laws, so everybody has to conform, but people don't pay attention to laws. And it seems like most of the people in this country don't bother thinking for themselves, and they follow along whatever somebody says to do. That's why I said they're absolutely mindless idiots if they think that, it's Trump's fault that this virus happened, if they think that, it's appropriate for a bunch of Democrats to ride this guy for going on 3 years. What do they want to do? Kick him out of office? I mean, he's been president for 3 years and he has greatly improved this country. And is that supposed to stop him from getting reelected? I really think these people, they need to be brought to the curb and healed and removed from government. And I hope before he gets out of office totally, that he puts those term limits into effect, because we need to get rid of a lot of these people that are in the government.
I think he's going to do that. I think he's actually going to do that. I think that, I think Simon brought that up about 3 weeks ago about term. You know, I think this is going to be the year. I think that he should write the rules and say, now everybody, you individuals that are trying to take me down each time something, blame me for something, I've got the name here. Okay.
He should get some extra credit years.
Huh?
He should get some extra credit years for all the time of his they wasted. So when he's done in 24, he gets 2 more years.
Yeah, yeah. But
That sounds good.
But the thing, he's got to do something now and prove to the public, and he doesn't have to prove anything. I mean, the man, look at how old he was when he started. What was he, 70, 71, 79, something, excuse me, 70.
70 years old.
He doesn't get any sleep. Look at the vice president. What gratitude they give him. And they knocked down the vice president because he said one time that he prays to God and he talks to God. And Pelosi thought that was something that was wrong with somebody. She can't see herself. And now we're trying to bring God back into our lives, everybody's life, if they want it. I do want it. That's important to me. Jesus is important to me. But all of a sudden, the pillow guy, Simon, you got to say something about that. You heard about it, right? The pillow guy.
Would not?
Remember the pillow guy that sells pillows on TV?
Oh, yeah.
Mike Lindell.
Michael Lindell.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that guy was
him
a
too.
really bad addict? Did you know that he nearly died 14 times?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Picked himself right up and got over it and has made himself into a millionaire.
Yeah. But see, they don't care. They want us to hate Democrats, much. So they create this rival, this type of collusion to make us want to hate Democrats, and that's what causes a clash. But in reality, the instigators are those individuals in the Capitol, those representatives, from Schumer to Pelosi to Maxine Waters, Feinstein, Ted Lieu.
I can't stand him.
All of those individuals.
You're right, Gene. They hijacked the Democratic Party. There's a lot of good people there. You're
That's
right.
right. That's right. Simon.
Keep that in mind, that the people in office don't represent the actual people, but those actual people follow along with whatever they say, because they're the ones that put those people in those offices. So you can't get them. They're not off the hook. They might be good people, but they've thrown the reins to those people in the office, and they're not paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
They want the government to do all the thinking and deciding and take all the money, work towards the socialist state. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. Simon, in a big circle for what we've talked about, let's start closing it with you and your thoughts before we close. Give your thoughts, pass it to Tom, to Robert, and then Janelle, and then I'll bring it back and we'll close. But we want the veterans of this nation to know we fought as one. Why do we have to be divided? Go ahead, sure shot, Simon.
It's been for some time now. The Democrats have always tried. I mean, they have divided this country. They made it even worse now than never before. And again, Trump won because he offered a different view of what America needed. And I mean, the Democrats, they have they have your next kind of, it's your turn to be president, it's your turn. And Hillary didn't get to be elected. So, I mean, they're just like going out there and stirring up all those bees, So they're still angry. But what are they going to do, Gene, when he wins again in 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what are they going to do? I mean, the last election they started crying. So what? They're going to kill themselves this time?
That would be nice.
That's my last thought, Gene.
Robert, your shot.
Yes, they hate Trump, and they also hate God. These people are here hate history. The old adage, if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it. Well, they don't want you to study history. In fact, in our classrooms today, in all the grades, American history isn't being taught anymore. In fact, I hope that in his second term, Trump allows Secretary DeVos to actually instill in all the schools, all the grades, some American history again. It's sad to see young people out there being interviewed and they don't even know who the vice president's name is, or they don't even know who the first president was.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's really sad.
You know, here's what we got to look at. We got to look at what this nation's going to do in the next 4 years when Trump gets reelected. We got to back him up. We got to show him that we care. We got to show him that we do believe in all the standards of what this nation was put together, from Abraham Lincoln to our president now, that God is real. But you know, I want to take this before I give it to Tom, then pass it up to Janelle, is that if people were so religious that are representatives that said they pray for Trump, the beating that this man has taken, and please, I'm not trying to desecrate the name of God or Jesus. Look at the beating that Jesus took. The beating that he took, and he still lives. Trump is that. Trump is an individual such as that, an image. We were all created as one. You know, between the Chinese, the Greeks, the Iraqs, the black, the white, the Spanish, the Italians, the Vietnamese, we're always one. We only separate each other because somewhere along the line, somebody says, I want more of this, I want more of that, or I'm better than you, or I'm smarter than you. But we're all one. Doesn't matter whether we can speak, walk, or talk, or hear. Tom's your shot.
Well, I've had a lot of people starting to flood me with email. I've been really active, but everything's pointing to China right now. It's that Lao Tzu art of war thing. You know, like, oh, they pretended it was them. What? It's all sleight of hand and diversion. Why would it be Wuhan, which is you know, their most productive city, because it was never in jeopardy in the first place. For them, it's, you know, maybe it was sealed off and they threw out reporters because it was all, you know, fake in the first place. Another thing I noticed was I was researching Nancy Pelosi's financial expenses to the United States. I get into things. You guys know that about me. I think it was 2014 she took a political junket over there. And wouldn't that be amazing if it was China, China, China instead of Russia, 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 and that they're all bought and paid for. And they're, you know, they could easily be puppets of China. And now we got an aircraft carrier parked at Guam with problems. You know, some stuff has happened at sea. Why would it be so many cruise ships? Why, you know, this purposefulness of it all? But having an aircraft carrier off board, anybody who knows military history is going to go, what the heck? Why was it a carrier? Why wasn't it a tanker or a destroyer? There's something, and then we also have to be aware that what's next, because you know that if they want to take us out, it's not going to be this one thing. So there's people looking into it, believe it or not, that I know, conservative people, ex-military, that are looking into it, and they're saying, you know, maybe we might be looking at more cyber attacks, maybe an EMP, but I'll leave off. Everything's pointing back to China.
Yeah.
I'm certain of it now. I was spending all day on this one. And it's they're buying stock low. They're buying property in Italy low. they're too well prepared for the taking advantage of things after the fact.
Well, I don't think they're gonna win. We've been a strong.
Oh, no, it's
We
just,
proved
they
that.
have wonderful cunning and at work here, and I think that we'll be able to counter it, and I'm sure that President Trump is well ahead of that. I mean,
We're not gonna go down, Tom. We're not gonna go down. Janelle, what's your thoughts?
Well, you know, they used to they have this phrase, if you divided, we fall, together we stand.
Yeah?
Well, the Democrats are all about diversity, and I'm tired of diversity. I like the Apple phone commercial that said, we are more alike than we are different. Instead of pointing out what everybody has, you know, what color skin, what religion, what sexual orientation, which none of us need to know anything about that. I don't want anybody knowing about what I do in that area, but I do anymore. But the point is, we need to concentrate on unity and stand as one and be motivated in a positive way instead of all these people being negative all the time and trying to have so many issues going on that nobody's paying attention to what they're really doing.
Mhm.
And it's ridiculous. It's time to stop. People need to think for themselves and do everything like God is watching. Even if they don't believe in God, they've got some kind of thing that they believe in, some kind of moral standard, and get on with it, do what we're supposed to do, and quit this crying and whining. And these people really need to be kicked out of the government. They really need to.
You got it. You know, there's going to be a lot of people looking at this video. We're going to send it out on Facebook and put it on the internet, and hopefully that we get a response. If you want a response to this video, those that are looking at this, you're going to criticize. You know, that's normal. I don't care how you criticize us, what we say or how we say it or what we look like or how we're approaching our thoughts. That's okay. I want to let you know that in advance because all you have to do is look in the mirror yourself. You can call 315-986-7322, Operation Fine for Effect, or you can call Forgotten Warriors Project at 979-716-8272. You want to know something? Give us a call. If you don't want to talk about us or let us know what you're talking about, hey, that's okay too. If you say nothing, we know nothing. We don't know what your thoughts are. We want to know. We're just like you. We're an everyday person, everyday veterans. Veterans that means a whole lot to this nation and the gratitude we have for having a president that we have. But most of all, too, is the standards that we hold. God bless America. Thank you so much.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Back,
You guys
God
take
bless.
care.
Amen.